Hey there everyone, 𝗵𝗺𝗿𝗿, physical therapist with Run Smart Online. I'm relatively level today, I've been keep on adjusting that. What I want to show you, let me jump over here quick, is I want to show you, again on my awesome planning, is if you're interested in improving your run form, there's a lot of different areas you can work at. There's like foot strike, there's leaning, there's how do you hold your arms, there's all these different parts to work on. And sometimes it can become overwhelming, especially there's a lot of people out there teaching run form. So I want to make it simple for you. So whether whatever path you choose to improve your run form, you can know where to start. And it's going to be a different starting point for a lot of different people. So I'm going to cover that today. Now, if you're interested in actually using the run form program we use, you can go to 𝗪RunSmart.com. You can sign up there. And we have a program called Run Smart Mechanics that we use with our athletes and our runners that I've put a lot of people through. So I'll show you that a little bit more again at the end. Again, that's 𝗪RunSmart.com, and you can take a look there. So when I think about run form, there's some key pillars that you should be looking at. The first pillar is foot strike. So traditionally you hear a lot about this with like heel striking, right? If you're a heel striker, you shouldn't be doing it. And it's the latest craze. There's a lot of stuff that went on with it, and it's somewhat settled down a little bit. But there's foot strike. I'm just going to call it shuffling. And then there's upper body. I'm actually going to call it whole body. Running with the whole body. So these are the three components. In my program, Run Smart Mechanics, I actually break this into two. But these are the three components I want to talk to you about today. So how do you know, what should you work on? So let's just cover that real quick. Foot strike is not so much about your foot strike. What this is actually about is about your knee position. And the easiest way to know if you need to work on this is go to a race photo. And if you see your foot, can you guys see this probably? You see your foot like out to the front like this, and here's the rest of your body, and you're sloped down with a straight knee and your toes pulled up. I would absolutely tell you it's probably a good idea to start here. This is the key component, because when your foot strike is really poor, if you're really struggling with like stiff knees, sore knees, just the point that you ache all the time, foot strike is a great place to start, because you can actually teach your body to better shock absorb. The easy thing I say about foot strike is imagine like if you were to jump and land with your straight knees, how uncomfortable that would be. No one does that. When they jump and land, they actually land and soften the blow by bending their knees and absorbing the shock. When you improve your foot strike, particularly your knee position, you can teach yourself to better shock absorb. It's really helpful for people who are feeling sore and stiff. The cool thing about this foot strike position and knee position is that it does offer, it offers you decreased injuries, typically for most people, and somewhat increased speed. It is helpful for speed as well. That's a good place to start. The only time I don't start people there is that if you have a race coming up in the next 4 weeks. Because when you work on your foot strike, it's a lot of changes, subtle changes. You start tweaking that stuff, and you can actually kind of bring on some injuries. So this is something that's definitely reserved for people who are just starting out training, at least 1 month out from their race or whatever it might be. A good place to start. Again, if you want to learn more on how to improve that, I have a whole program you can find at 𝗪RunSmart.com, 𝗪RunSmart.com, and you're looking for the Run Smart Mechanics program after you sign up. This is phase 1 for us, and this is phase 2, shuffling. Runners who shuffle just run slower. Shuffling causes you to run with your calves a lot, so if you're dealing with a lot of calf injuries, where the foot strike is good for the knees, shufflers have a lot of calf injuries, Achilles injuries, plantar fascia, all these kind of things, and they just aren't, towards the end of races, they die out hard. They don't finish races a lot of times strong, and if you look at yourself on like a video, it's like, oh my God, it looks like I'm not picking up my feet at all. You're constantly catching one foot on the back of your other calf. These are our shufflers. So shuffling is really powerful, and not powerful to do, but when you break away from shuffling in your run form, what you're really trying to do is you're trying to, where foot strike was knee position, shuffling, you're trying to run from your hips. So good strong glutes, you start opening your stride, so you stop shuffling, you open your stride. The main benefit here is 100% speed. faster running. When you can teach yourself, I know there's a little glare on there, but that says speed. This is a great place to go if you already have a race coming up. So it is not dependent on, much of anything. It's better to start at foot strike if you can, but you can also start at this shuffling spot. And the cool thing about this is there's not a lot of risk for injury for changing this. You're going to teach yourself how to run from your hips, run from your glutes, run from your core muscles, and it's going to propel you down the road, because when you shuffle, you don't travel. You push off and you're already back on the ground. This is a great way for people who struggle to finish races strong, like I mentioned, and just know that they're like scuffing the ground. You hear the scuff on the treadmill. Shuffling will 100% slow you down. So in our program, again, if you want to try it, go to tryrunsmart.com. This is phase 2 of my Run Smart Mechanics program. It's breaking away from shuffling. And finally, this is actually phase 3 and 4 in my program, which is whole body running. This can be done at any time, but it is not as crucial as the first 2. This is kind of like a cleanup stage. You're going to teach yourself how to run from the whole body. And what does that mean? What's your arm position like? Should you be moving your trunk? Should you be leaning? Should you not be leaning? This is the fine-tuning stage. The cool thing about this one is that it's for injuries, helps with injuries and helps with speed, but just not at the same level as these other 2. So a good fine-tuning moment. A lot of people, like, they're choo-choo runners. They do this, they're like gunslingers from the Wild West, and they don't move their upper body. Truth be told, when you run, you should be moving from your entire body. Just like throwing a baseball. You should, when someone throws a baseball, they push off their back leg, they follow through. That whole motion is a whole body motion. Believe it or not, running is a whole body motion. You should be running from the trunk. You should be running from the shoulders and the feet and everything. Everything should be running. So in my program, Run Smart Mechanics, this is phase 3 and 4 for a reason, because it's not as important as some of the other things. If you're not doing these first 2 well, I would 100% tackle these first. This one, if you have a race coming up, don't do. Go to breaking away from your shuffling. And if you don't have any races coming up, foot strike takes a long time. It can take you a long time to learn and your body to get used to. So you want to make sure you have that leeway. What I want to do now, this is going to be kind of weird. I'm just going to pick up the camera. I want to show you the program that we use, and I'll show you how it's structured, because I think I want you to see, like, we do have a structure in place, and if you're going to improve your run form, you're going to want to follow this structure as well. So let's see if I can get this to work. All right, that's my awesome light for when I go live for you guys. All right, so this is our program inside the Run Smart Training Center. So we have all these videos and kind of just introduce you to the anatomy and stuff down here. But if we come down and we just look through here, so phase 1. Oh, come on, baby. There we go. Helpful if I know how to use this, huh? Phase 1 is finding your midfoot. It says that in there. I don't think you guys can even see that. Let me see if I can do this for you. One sec. So finding your midfoot right here, what to expect, shuffle step drills. So we give you some drills and some strength workouts to work on. And then we look at phase 2, which is like going beyond midfoot. This is why I talked to you about don't start here if your foot strike's not great. But we go through flexibility and learning how to drive from the knee. This is the crucial part. When you're to break away from a shuffle, essentially this whole phase 2 is breaking away from shuffling. So, like, how do you build the habit? We can go in and we show you, like, okay, this is how you're going to build the habit. Fortunately, you have to listen to me some more, but it's there. And the final structure, like I just mentioned, is phase 3, which is, I talk about tying up loose ends, lean, and then phase 4 is into trunk rotation and some exercises for that. But the big thing is foot strike, then shuffle, and then loose ends, phase 3 and 4 are whole body running. I'm just going to turn this around and talk with my hand. Is whole body running. So when you go to look and work on your run form, just get that whole process down. Work on foot strike, then you're shuffling, and that's really the main structure that you want with your run form. Now, if you want our help, again, you can go to tryrunsmart.com and get access to the program I just showed you. You can do it for as little as $1, and we put a lot of runners through it. I used to run, for 10 years I did this in person with people, and I just realized, hey, I can probably help more people if I just show them the main mistakes a lot of people are having and the exercises and drills we use to correct it. So if you're interested in checking that out, go to tryrunsmart.com. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Depending on when you watch this, it's Friday here, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right, have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.